No, I won't hurry.
Turn that thing on.
Okay.
Let's get this party started, baby.
All right.
Hey, whoa, hey, it's me, Nicolai.
And it's me, Brian.
And
Hello.
this is the Brothers Game Podcast.
It
Your
is.
one-stop shop for video games, I guess.
Yeah.
Here we are. What's up, Brian?
What's up? So,
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
I finally decorated today, so now it feels like Christmas.
It's only about 2 weeks or so until our 4-year anniversary
Yep.
from when we recorded our first episode, and then only a month or so until our first episode released. So, yeah.
Yep. Pretty crazy. Doesn't feel like that long. Definitely.
No, I know.
That's
4
probably,
years.
Probably the pandemic in the middle.
I know.
Makes that
It
happen.
completely distorted time.
Definitely. Yep.
But,
It's like
yeah.
2 free years of marriage. It's great. It's just
Yeah.
makes it seem like
That's
a lot
the
of
thing
years.
is you either came out of the pandemic with a stronger marriage or you got divorced.
I guess that's true. Yeah. I wouldn't know what that's like. So,
Yeah.
yeah, almost 4 years. Well, maybe so. Next episode might be your Christmas spoils, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Nice. Always our most popular episode.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they do terribly. I don't know why.
No.
I swear, Christmas episodes are good. You should listen to them.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about.
It's just
We're probably gonna get a video game for Christmas.
a couple of middle class white guys bragging about the gifts they got for Christmas.
and we're not. They're not gonna be extravagant this year. Let me
No,
tell you.
they won't.
Let me tell you. Yikes. Listen, it's basically Christmas to me right now because tomorrow we're gonna get to play the Indigo Disc. So, yeah.
Yep.
And I say tomorrow, even though it comes out Thursday, because it comes out in like a specific place. I don't think it's Japan. I think it's somewhere else or something. Some time zone starts it.
Yeah.
So even though it comes out Thursday, for us, we get to play it like in the evening tomorrow. So
Yeah.
just saying.
So by the time this episode is live, we will be playing it.
Yes, definitely. Very cool. We're gonna have a lot of new Pokemon to catch. All the starters. I'm probably gonna shiny hunt every starter
Oh, wow.
and just go for
right.
all of them. So because that would be pretty awesome.
All right. So while we're on the subject of Pokemon, I have the results from my little experiment
Dun dun dun.
in which I sought out to prove that Bulbasaur is not the best starter and not the easiest starter. So
Let's leave the reveal.
was-
Let's wait for the reveal. Yeah.
it was interesting. Okay, so I
Okay.
started with I did a Charmander run and then a Bulbasaur run and then a Squirtle run. In each case, I used only the starter for battling. I did not switch. I had HM slaves, but they were just there for HMs and nothing else. And it turns out this is an extremely easy way to beat the game. And I already
funny.
thought I had found a very easy way to beat the game. It turns out this is even easier than the way I normally play the game. There is no challenge whatsoever in this type of playthrough
That's so funny.
because you are so over-leveled.
Yeah. Yep. Guess that makes sense.
So I started with, I did the Charmander run first. Brock was, and to recap, I am using Sheen Poke Red Light, which is Pokemon Red with bug fixes and slight AI improvements. Unfortunately, you can only do so much with the AI because it's just not well written to begin with. But they did. It is
Their
better.
best. Yeah.
So the only hard fight in the entire Charmander playthrough was Brock.
Okay.
Misty was easy. One try
That's funny.
because I was that overleveled already. Like it's pretty impressive just how quickly you are that overleveled. Like I was level 40, I think, by the time I reached Rock Tunnel.
Wow. 40 at Rock Tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And so, yeah. So Brock was the only difficult fight. Now with Bulbasaur, the only difficult fight was the optional rival fight on Route 22 next to Viridian before fighting Brock. The only hard fight.
Interesting.
I did lose that fight once.
That's funny. That's such a throwaway fight you don't think about.
Right. And then every other fight was easy, but like it was because I was over leveled. So it turned
Yeah.
you can overcome it. That's one thing. This is kind of RPGs in general, but especially in Pokemon, over leveling can overcome any challenge.
Any challenge. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
And
Yeah, and especially in a turn-based game
mm-hmm.
where over leveling doesn't have like specific downsides.
Yeah.
Like if you're using traded Pokemon that wouldn't obey you,
Right.
that would be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's no downsides like that, I mean, yeah, I mean levels are everything. So yeah, makes sense.
So, and I also did, when I did the Squirtle playthrough, I had the same results as the Bulbasaur playthrough. The rival fight, that first rival fight was the hardest.
Interesting. Weird.
It was the only fight I fainted.
Was it just the levels, I guess? His
Yeah.
were a higher level?
But like,
or...
Charmander just had an easier time in that fight.
Well,
like,
doesn't he have higher physical attack?
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
also I had Ember
okay.
to use against Pidgey, which was good.
Okay.
You don't really have a great special move to use against, like Bubble's power is really low.
Mm-hmm.
But so like if you leveled up Squirtle to high enough to use Water Gun, then yeah, sure, Squirtle would probably easily KO that fight. And I did beat that fight on my second try. It's just I fainted the first time.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And yeah, so each playthrough had one difficult fight, and I will say Charmander did have the most trouble against the Elite Four, but that's the only playthrough where I tried the Elite Four without any potions.
Ah, okay.
I didn't try it without potions with Bulbasaur or Squirtle, so it wasn't really fair.
Yeah, because there weren't in a trial like this. You want all the fights to be basically the same variables like that. So yeah.
So my conclusion is
they're all easy.
They're all the same. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that they're balanced basically.
Yeah. And so like a lot of people, people will say, talk about the types and how, because from a logical point of view, Bulbasaur is type advantage against Brock, type advantage against Misty, both ways, resistant and then also resistant to electric.
Resistant to surge.
So the first three gyms. The thing is first of all, I think picking your starter based on the first three gyms doesn't really
make any sense
because like, I don't know. So first of all, also against Surge, both Charmander and Squirtle can learn Dig.
Yeah.
And so
which makes them invulnerable for a turn and does so much damage it doesn't matter what.
It has 100 power.
Yeah. So even Squirtle has no issue.
Yeah.
Because he can just dig them.
So
that's funny.
But again, something like half of all enemy trainer Pokemon resist grass.
Yes.
I did.
It is a heavily
crunched the numbers and
thing.
So
it's a weak type. I mean, it has a lot of weaknesses.
It has a lot of weaknesses. So, and then people will talk about its competitive stats as if that matters in the story.
Also, Venusaur is not good competitively. So
apparently, he is better than Blastoise or Charizard.
Well, maybe Gen 1 competitive.
Yeah.
But anyway, certainly not viable anymore.
But I mean, you wouldn't use any of those three much in Gen 1 competitive. In the meta, apparently, like Tauros, Snorlax, and Chansey are the kings, not
Mewtwo,
not the starters.
Yeah, for sure.
But so because the thing is no matter which starter you pick in Gen 1, you've got a very easy option for each gym that they struggle with. Mm-hmm. Against Brock, you can, first of all, you can just level up to the point,
do it,
over level a little.
Yeah.
A level 15 Charmander. Well, and especially if you level up to Charmeleon, you should have zero problem with Brock. Just spam Ember. He has very low special defense. You won't have any trouble with him.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you can catch a Butterfree and use
it's great, yeah.
Confusion. You can catch a Nidoran. Nidoran does great against Brock. In Yellow and Fire Red Leaf Green, you can get a Mankey. So you've got karate chop or whatever to be super effective. And in fire red and leaf green, you do get metal claw, although I tested it
It's not as
and the
good.
damage difference is basically the same as ember because
it's
of
weird.
how it's because of Onyx's high defense.
Yeah. So
It
Metaclaw
cancels
is
out
not good. Yeah.
the type advantage. So yeah.
Yeah, because special plus the stab bonus for the fire. Yeah.
Yeah. And then against Misty, if you've got Charmander, Charmeleon, again, it's either overlevel them or use a different Pokemon like an Oddish or a Bellsprout, or a Pikachu. But even with Pikachu, you've got to kind of overlevel the Pikachu because it's a glass cannon, and Starmie's tackle will hit it really hard.
That's funny.
I've fought her plenty of times with Squirtle and Pikachu. Well, Wartortle and Pikachu. And the Pikachu fainted to Starmie, and Wartortle had to finish off Starmie anyway. So honestly, if you're starting Squirtle, you aren't necessarily any better off having a Pikachu against Misty. You're probably just as good to level up Wartortle a bit more, especially if you get up to Bite. Although you find Mega Punch in Mount Moon, so that's more than good enough. Gen 1 actually does too good of a job of giving you strong moves in the beginning, because between Mega Punch and Dig, those are both very strong moves.
Definitely. So turns out doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I guess pick
Turns
whatever
out
you
it's
want.
really easy and it doesn't matter.
Gen 1's just too easy.
Yeah.
People always make fun of modern Pokemon for being too easy. Well, guess what? Old Pokemon was easy too. So,
Yeah. Extremely easy.
yeah, I think it got hardest at like Gen 4 and 5,
Yeah.
and then got easy again. So
Yeah, I might even say Ruby and Sapphire. Or not,
Yeah.
well, specifically Emerald,
Emerald,
actually,
yeah.
because of
Fairly.
Rayquaza and the bike thing.
yeah, oh my gosh.
That was the
nightmare.
hardest thing I've ever done in
The
Pokemon,
the
quite
Sky
possibly.
Pillar was the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, and then I mean there's a few spikes. I mean, I would say the Ultra Sun and Moon have difficult bits. But
Yeah,
Ultra Necrozma
Ultra
is
Necrozma.
tough.
You just got, unless you use Toxic, he's just going to destroy you.
Yeah, so in a recent playthrough, I haven't even talked about this. Wow, okay. I haven't even talked about this shiny I got. So I was playing through Ultra Sun off and on just to get to the end of the game. I was literally just playing through it so I could get to the end because, through the Ultra wormholes, you can go through Ultra Space and you can find a bunch of legendaries. And most of the previous legendaries, main ones are there. But there's exclusives between Sun and Moon. And Ultra Sun has Xerneas. Xerneas is probably my favorite legendary.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or
I
at
did
least,
not expect
or
you
at
to
least top 3.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's got the big antlers and like the rainbowy crystals.
You know,
I've always thought it
funny
was so
is
cool.
Xerneas is probably near the bottom for me.
Yeah. I mean, we have very different favorite things in Pokemon, so I'm
Yeah.
actually not that surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I found out it has a really good shiny.
Yeah.
So
Shiny
anyway,
Xerneas. Huh?
that's what I was going for in Ultra Sun. And I did get the shiny Charm at the beginning of the game. I've talked about before how I have a shiny Charizard and a shiny Alolan Raichu in that game, which was part of my team, which was really cool because I haven't used Charizard in a long, ever.
Yeah.
So I might as well have a shiny one. This is the playthrough where they're all named after stands from JoJo and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So Charizard was King Crimson because that just fit.
Also,
because he has the red wings and stuff.
Because I was leveling so quickly in that playthrough with Charizard,
Yeah.
it felt like I actually got Flamethrower at a decent point in the game. It was like
That's
it's like
awesome.
level 47 or 52 or
Yeah,
something
because
like
you,
that. But I got that.
but you
there
got it so
by the
fast,
time
yeah.
I got to Celadon.
Yeah,
So,
that's funny. Near the end, I wanted to just blow through it, and I didn't want to faff around having difficulty with Ultra Necrozma and stuff. Even though I had a good team, I could have done it probably. So I traded them all to my Ultra Moon game, and there's a specific spot where you can find Chansey, but only in the post game, and you can SOS battle it and just kill Chanseys one after another.
Nice.
Like level 55 Chanseys and just get tons of XP. So I over leveled my whole team like 10, 15 levels. So I went, I fought Necrozma at like level 75. My whole team was 75. So
Nice.
he was no issue. So that was cool. Anyway, got to the end. I found Xerneas pretty quickly. I think I went through maybe 4 or 5 green wormholes before I found the Xerneas one, because it's kind of random. You can know by color, and the more like rings around it, the more rare it probably is.
Okay.
You can find random shinies this way too. I accidentally found a shiny Siglif doing this.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The Pokemon in the rarer wormholes have a higher shiny odds. So yeah, so that was kind of cool. But the legendaries don't have higher shiny odds, but you can soft reset in front of them and keep encountering them over and over until they're shiny, basically.
Yeah.
So, and it was a pretty quick reset time. So I was like, let's see how long this takes. It was really good odds because I had shiny charm. It was only 1 in 1,300, I think, which is really good for a legendary, especially. And so it took about 2 hours. This is my count.
Oh yeah.
220 encounters before I found shiny Xerneas. It was no time at all. And let me show you real quick
That
here.
helps make up for 20
Exact for the 29,000.
29,000.
So it's
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
the top is light blue and it's like a white bottom instead of the black and dark blue.
Yeah.
Super, super cool. Was very happy with that.
Yeah.
And when it's not active, when the antlers aren't rainbowy, the whole top is blue. So it just looks like that. Really cool, shiny.
Yeah.
Really, really awesome. I named it Heaven's Door,
Heaven's a door.
which I thought was cool. It's like the life Pokemon. So,
Yeah.
And so I have basically 3 of my top legendary shiny now. I have that, the Kyurem that took me so long, and the Ho-Oh from Heart Gold.
Yeah.
So I have a nice trio of shiny legendaries right now. So pretty
so
cool.
Let's see. My favorite legendaries. Now that you've mentioned this, I want to think through it. So
I will mention my other is Reshiram,
yeah.
who I think is just so sick. But he does not have a good shiny, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
Let's see. From Gen 1, I really like Articuno, Mewtwo, and Mew.
all good ones.
From
You
Gen
definitely
2,
seem like a Mewtwo guy to me.
yeah.
So
From Gen 2, I really like Lugia.
Lugia is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Gen 3, honestly, I don't love any of Gen 3's legendaries. None of them are bad. They're very middle of the road.
Rayquaza is really cool, but he's like Charizard in that he's way overhyped. Like, calm down.
In Gen 4, Dialga.
Oh yeah,
I think
cool.
Dialga's really cool.
I love Giratina.
Yeah.
Big fan of Giratina. Really good shiny too.
Yeah. In Gen 5, I think Kyurem and especially White Kyurem are very cool.
Really cool. I can have a shiny White Kyurem. So.
And then I'm not sure I care much about the legendaries that have come since.
Really?
For pretty much any of them.
Lunala's so cool too. Xerneas, Lunala, I think they're sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sword and Shields, they're fine, but I don't adore them.
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet, they're fine also,
Yeah.
but just fine. Yeah. I don't know about other mythicals. If you include mythicals, I mean, Darkrai's cool. Actually, I really like Shaman.
Oh, yeah.
Big Shaman fan.
Shaman is very cute.
I used it actually in a team because I had that event one I got, through the spoofed, internet thing. I actually used it in Platinum for a while, and it was busted. He's so strong.
I feel like Celebi is often forgotten about.
Oh yeah, Celebi's really cool.
I like Celebi.
That's one of the better mythicals.
Also, Manaphy and Fione.
Oh yeah, they're really
Fione.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh, Swords of Justice. I really like Virizion.
Oh, okay.
I think Virizion's really cool. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the Reggies.
No, not really.
Latios and Latios are cool.
Yeah, they're all
I
right.
think they're cool. I think they're better of the Gen 3 ones. I think they're better than I like Kyogre because he's watery big whale guy is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyogre.
Yeah. Kyogre. Yeah. Saying it like a real normal person.
Uh-huh.
Like I love when people still say Arceus, which is hilarious. That's like because then if you were playing Pokemon Legends Arceus and you have your phone, you'd call it the Arse phone instead of the Arc phone, and I think that's hilarious. So keep calling it your Arse phone, I guess. Whatever. Sorry to our British listeners for cursing there. Yeah.
Fanny.
Absurd to me that people still say Arceus in this economy. Come on, get out of here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I have those 3. I'm thinking about maybe I'll do a full team of shiny legendaries someday and get 3 more, but I'm not sure what they'd be. So
Yeah.
maybe in the future. I have a shiny Giratina, but I didn't hunt for it. It wasn't like a legit one. It's from one of those spoofed event things. I also have shinies of Entei, Suicune, and Raikou. But those are also from a spoofed event, so that doesn't feel as real. Entei, by the way, one of my favorite legendaries. That would be in my team of 6. Don't you like Suicune? Are you like a Suicune guy?
No, I was always more of a Raikou
Oh, okay.
guy, but I just
you
really like electric types.
You like Jolteon too, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, always been an Entei guy. It's funny, I'm not a huge fire type person, but I like a lot of fire types also. Like Vulpix, Entei, Reshiram.
Yeah.
But Ho-Oh, I guess.
Yeah. I
I like
never
fire legendaries.
Yeah. I never use them, but I love Flareon's design.
Yeah, so cool. So insanely cute. Yeah, Flareon's good. So I recently did some cool shiny hunts in Scarlet and Violet too, that I'll just briefly mention. I found there's an event going on where there's special mass outbreaks for specific Pokemon that have way increased shiny odds. And so you can get Flabebe in all its 5 different colors, Litwick, and Milcery once the Indigo Disc comes out. There will be special Milcery outbreaks.
Okay.
And so that people can get the like 21 different versions that you could have shiny of Milcery, of Alcremie. So, because that's getting added in Indigo Disc. That's one of the Pokemon. So obviously I'm like Litwick. Heck yeah, that's lit. I'm going to get a shiny Chandelure. I have one from Sword and Shield, but it's such a sick shiny that I'm just going to, go for it anyway. I posted it to my Twitter too when I got it because it looks so good in this game. They have this like kind of flamey effect that they did on it.
Yeah.
It just looks awesome. So I was doing 2 shiny hunts at once, basically. I had all these Litwick outbreaks that were happening, but I also had an outbreak of Poltergeist, the new like matcha ghost Pokemon, but it was not just any outbreak. It was an outbreak of Masterpiece Poltergeist. Poltergeist. And you know about that, right? The fake and the Masterpiece versions.
Yeah,
It's just like Sinistea.
Yeah.
So 1 in 100 Poltergeists are Masterpiece versions. They have a little stamp at the bottom,
right.
to show that they're artisan or legit or whatever. And I was like, that'd be really cool to have a shiny, also legitimate one. And this is the easiest time to do it because there's a whole outbreak of them, which I think is pretty rare. I knew it could happen, but I'm like, I'm just gonna assume this is rare and just go for it. One of the most annoying shiny hunts I've ever done. Not because of how long it took, because it took a little while, but I guarantee I missed them. I guarantee I missed a couple because one, they're tiny. Do you remember what Poltergeist looks like in the game? It's a little floating speck.
Yeah.
Okay. And the shiny is like slightly greener on the black part but not really that much greener.
Yeah.
That's the shiny. Okay. It was annoying and hard to see. And so
It's just like all the dozens of shiny floettes I may have passed.
for real. And so I don't envy the people who were shiny hunting Flabébé during this whole thing. Thankfully I don't care. So I would be running around looking at poltergeists for like an hour or until I got bored, and then I'd leave and just go to the Litwick outbreaks. And I found 3 shiny Litwicks before I got a shiny poltergeist. And I mean, they were higher odds. And these were special outbreaks, but still, that's a lot. Because I guarantee I missed a poltergeist or 2. But shiny Litwick, so his flame, it's normally kind of purpley.
Right.
This one's like a lighter blue. So it's noticeable when it's next to other Litwick.
Yeah.
On its own, you might not notice it as much. But if you look him dead in the eyes, he has like green eyes instead of yellow eyes too. In his dead, cold ghost eyes. So that was cool. So because I got 3, I have a shiny Litwick, Lampent, and Chandelure. I have a whole living line of shinies. Lampent's is actually really cool. It's got like a purple flame on the inside. And then Chandelure has just like straight up orange, like classic flames instead. And then kind of like this teal blue on the inner ball part. Anyway, insanely cool. Super worth it. And I did eventually get the poltergeist.
Yeah.
But it took way too long. I was really lazily doing it at this point because it had taken so long. And I was just staring at one specifically, and I'm like, I feel like I'm probably wrong, but I feel like it looks just a little off. And so I ran up to it and started a battle, and it shimmered, and I'm like, thank God. Finally. Yeah. I couldn't tell until the sparkles happened that it was shiny. That's how not different it was. So, but there you go. Now I have it, so it's fine. Anyway, that was fun. I might use them. I might have like a fun shiny team or something to use in the Indigo Disc. But more than likely, I'll probably just get a full new team of, unique Pokemon. Yeah. Porygon's in it now, finally. I can finally get a Porygon. I love the Porygon line, so that'll be fun. So yeah, do you think you'll do a whole new team again, just like you did in Teal Mask?
I didn't do a whole new team in Teal Mask.
You didn't?
No.
Huh?
That was what you did. I kept my old team.
Oh, I feel like everyone did that. That's
no.
why I'm like, oh. Are you going to be boring and do your regular team again?
Probably.
Oh, that's cool. I actually like Pokemon, so I don't know.
So
that's
do
fine.
I.
That's fine.
I like winning in Pokemon.
Well, good luck. This one's Indigo Disc is supposed to be very difficult. Like competitive difficult.
Yeah. Okay, good. So all the more reason to keep my over-leveled team.
Yeah, well, I mean, even at level 100, you're going to need competitive strategies.
Cool, good. Fine.
We'll see what happens.
About time I had a challenge.
I hope it's actually difficult for you, yeah. There's going to be a lot of double battles, they said, too, which brings up even more, competitive stuff. So if you don't have a lot of held items, you should probably get a few of those, of the specific held items and stuff, at the very least. But, yeah, we'll see. I don't know what team I'm going to go with exactly. But
it wasn't until this... that I actually worked on natures and stuff like that, and I've even
EV
been
training
working
and stuff,
on EV allocations and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need it. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see just how hard this is. Yeah.
So. But it's still been kicking around ideas here and there for my ROM hack that I want to do
still
someday,
something you think
but
about.
that I might not ever do someday.
Well, tell us about it, Brian.
So I'm not sure.
Well, fine then.
What I silence, infidel.
Oh, okay. Silence, traitor.
Yeah, we've been watching Batman the Animated Series, and Ra's al Ghul's henchman.
yeah.
He's always like infidel.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I definitely want to do things like So like I would make Dig have like only 60 power or something.
Yeah. You nerf quite a few things.
I would nerf quite a few moves, yeah.
Or probably add and buff a few other things. Yeah.
Yeah, like there really should be a fire type move in between Ember and Flamethrower.
Yeah.
That isn't as weak as Flame Wheel.
Right.
Because
right.
Flame Wheel is only barely stronger than Ember.
Yeah, like the later move Incinerate is great. That's like 660 and 100 accuracy, I think. So
Yeah.
that's a great move. And it gets rid of the opponent's berry, which is a cool little bonus effect.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just saying.
Yep.
You could put Incinerate in it. Just saying.
One thing I didn't really think about is moves with a high crit rate.
Oh yeah, those
So
are awesome.
moves with a high crit rate. If you've got because
Like
remember
Slash and
in
Dragon Claw and
Gen
Shadow
1,
Claw.
speed determines crit rate.
Oh really? That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
So like if you're faster than your opponent and you use a high crit rate move, you'll pretty much crit every single time, which
Wow, that's messed up.
means you can essentially treat that move as having double the power that it normally does.
Yeah.
So like Razor Leaf only has 55 power, but if you have but it has a
really,
high crit rate,
it has
and so if
110.
if you outspeed your opponent, it's 110 power.
When you think about it, it's 110 powder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Slash have a high crit rate
Yeah.
in Gen 1? Okay. Because
Same.
I knew it does
Yeah.
later.
And Karate Chop.
Right. Yeah. So if you're using Mankey, who's pretty fast,
Yeah.
get a lot of crits. Hitmonlee's fast. I don't know if he can learn Karate Chop though.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can learn Karate Chop. It would be
he's
weird
all
because he
feet.
only uses his feet.
He's
but,
got no hands.
Yeah, he learns all the best fighting moves.
Literally has no
jump
hands.
kick, high jump kick, rolling kick.
Oh, I love
They give him all the good fighting moves in Gen 1.
when I'm when an opponent uses high jump kick and I use something like dig or fly or protect or something, and they bounce and they fall on their face and they like lose half their health. That's the
Yeah,
best.
the amount of damage incurred has changed a lot over the different gens.
It's massive
interesting.
now.
Yeah.
It's such a there's a massive downside to it now. Yeah.
And
Happened to my Sawsbuck one time.
yeah,
He can learn high jump kick. Messed up.
and yeah, I would crank up the levels on most trainer Pokemon.
For
In
sure.
the game, especially in the mid game. And one thing I really liked about Pokemon Red Plus Plus was how there was a clear because there's the fork in the road, the trident in the road,
Right.
where
The trident in the road, yeah.
where there's Silphco, Cycling Road, and then the other route to Fuchsia, which is
The other
routes
one.
13, 14, 15, I think.
The one with Farfetch'd and Ditto, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all how I remember it.
So, in the regular game, those are the Pokemon that you encounter are all pretty much the same levels in all three of those. Whereas in Red Plus Plus, there was a clear you do this first, and then this, and then this. And I liked that, and I would
Yeah.
probably do the same thing.
Yeah. And that's fine. Like more linear, but it's more of a challenge. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that way, you aren't super over. If you choose to do all three of them, you aren't super over leveled. I'm not sure the developers ever intended you to do all three.
yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. But they probably intended you to do two of them. Because one
possible.
you have to get through Silphco, and while they might not have intended the player to fight every single enemy on the way up Silphco, they probably intended you to fight many of them, and then also either go down Cycling Road or the other path.
Well, also if you use a team of 6, you don't get over leveled. So
I mean, you kind of do still.
eh.
Yeah, you really do. Because I've done teams of 6 plenty of times too in these playthroughs. The only thing you're not over leveled for with a team of 6 is the Elite Four.
Right. And I guess that was the thought, but yeah.
And so honestly, I might not even buff the Elite Four all that much because because they're over leveled as is. If you are going to have a team of 5 or 6.
Yeah, I suppose it would depend on how everything balances out once you've changed everything else. But yeah.
So, I mean, it would be it'd be interesting to try and balance it for somebody doing a single Pokemon run, but I feel like that's rare enough that I don't need to.
Yeah.
That it's not
I
something
wouldn't worry
I need
about
to
that
think
too
about.
much. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to.
You could put in a few like special bonus things if you're doing a one person run.
Yeah.
Like it knows you only have one Pokemon, so
Yeah, I mean that probably not, but
that'd be cool though.
yeah. Because like, because I'd like to build it for somebody playing with a team of 5 or 6.
Right. That's ideal, I would say. So
I'd like it to be satisfying with to play with a team of 5 or 6.
yeah, I always have a team of 6. So like no matter what, basically. So.
And whereas I don't bother because I'll be underleveled for the Elite Four if I do that.
But I'm never playing Gen 1 also.
Yeah.
So
Well, there you go. Well, that's the thing is, I think in most games, in most games before Gen 6, I was underleveled for the Elite Four
yeah.
when I used a team of 6. But I always
Understandable.
did use a team of 6 in later gens for type variety.
Yeah, I just grinded to make up for it.
Yeah.
Like just straight up grinding.
But I hate grinding. So
Yeah, I mean, so do I. So, but like Gen 5, you can get a Dino and stuff, and it's not too bad. But yeah, still a little annoying. Yeah.
because like Cynthia is tough if you aren't like a little higher level than she is.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm playing Platinum off and on right now. And I am really purposefully fighting every wild encounter I run into too, and just like trying to, not get behind a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Which I think I'm good. I'm definitely over leveled right now. I'm just now in Eterna Forest with like Cheryl and stuff. And I'm like level 20 across the board,
Yeah.
which is pretty high. So yeah, I'm like fighting trainers that are level 12, So yeah. Yep.
So the way I played Pokemon as a kid is I actually avoided as many fights as I could.
Yeah, just
most of
like-
the time, in
That sounds
order
like a
to
kid.
blow through it really quickly. Now, because of that, I actually wasn't over leveled for some things.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm almost interested in like doing the idea would be, so with the hardcore Nuzlocke, they have a bunch of rare candies so they can like
Yeah.
level everybody
So they're
up.
not just grinding for 12 hours
Yeah.
on stream. Yeah.
So
Understandable. I like when they make them like you have to buy them or something, but anyway.
yeah. I wonder about getting a brand new team for every gym and making them be only the levels of the gym leader, no matter how high your original team is.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be interesting.
Just a whole new team every time. Yeah. Reset.
And so you'd have rare candies, so you don't have to sit there and grind
Right.
the new team every time. But yeah,
Yeah, that'd be fun. Keep it fresh. And you could, I mean, depending on how you get those Pokemon. I mean, in a Nuzlocke, sometimes you don't have enough Pokemon.
right. And so this just wouldn't be a Nuzlocke, so that I
Right.
could actually build out the teams.
Just build out however you want. Yeah. And then
Yep.
it'd be cool if it was a randomizer. So
yeah.
you just kind of,
yeah, that would be
so
fun.
you just scoured trying to get any passable team for this
Yeah.
gym. Scour the map looking for Pokemon.
It's weird. After at a certain point, the order that you can do things in, because like you only need to beat Surge and Erica to get through to get to the Elite Four. You don't need to beat them to like progress
Do
the
anything.
game.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
It's true.
Like there was one playthrough I forgot about Erica, and I had beaten Sabrina and Koga, and went, wait,
Wait
I
a
never
second.
beat Erica.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's funny. That got even worse in Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. I was watching a Johnstone video where he basically, if you go back to Cerulean or something, you can get cut before you beat Surge. Wait, no, you always get cut before you beat Surge. What am I
Right.
thinking of? basically he was able to get Cut and Surf also before beating Surge.
Yeah,
So
totally possible.
Yeah.
Even in Gen 1,
but
I believe.
Now I'm losing it. Anyway, he did a thing where he didn't have to beat any gym leader,
No.
but it was unique to Let's Go Navy. So
Okay.
I don't
Interesting.
remember. I guess I don't remember. So
But
this is a dumb story.
So like you can't progress without beating Brock because you can't even get to Route 3 without beating Brock. You can't progress past Cerulean without beating Misty because that
The
going through
policewoman,
that house and the thief with the dig TM, like you can't. The police officer is blocking that until you beat Misty. But after that, you only need Surge's badge for Fly, which is an optional HM. It's one I always get, but it is optional. You don't need it to beat the game. And Erica doesn't unlock an HM, so you don't need her badge to progress. You don't need Sabrina's badge to progress. I think you do need the Volcano badge in order to unlock Viridian Gym, I think. I'm pretty sure it's blocked off even if you've beaten Silphco and everything.
Interesting.
But so you could, in theory, wait until you've beaten Giovanni and Viridian Gym. Well, probably not. I'm going to guess you need all the other badges before you can fight Giovanni.
Yeah.
I don't remember that for sure, but I'm pretty sure you do. So
Lame.
but you could get
Just
all
skip
the
the
way
whole game.
past Blaine without having fought Surge, Erica,
That would be
or
fought
Sabrina.
Surge. You could fight Surge at level like 50.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, that's great.
Like, I'm going to zap you into paralysis. And
You're
you're
like,
like, bet.
I'm still faster than you. Yeah, that's awesome.
My Lickitung is faster than your right
Yeah.
shoe.
Sorry, bud. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm still playing through stuff, Platinum specifically, just to keep moving all these Pokemon up before my time runs out, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm getting there. I'm close.
You're on borrowed time.
Yes. Yes. Because Pokemon Bank is closing. Well, you know, the online functions of it moving up to home is closing down. So that's what and my son will be here any minute. So,
Yeah.
so I'll be a little
The clock
busy.
is ticking.
Too busy to play Pokemon. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Scary.
In other gaming related stuff, so I have not yet bought a PS5. PS5s are still expensive.
Still expensive. They're now available, which is nice.
It's possible to buy them now, even at retail price.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But
But now you want it cheaper than retail.
I want to spend like $300,
Yeah.
not $500.
I think there's rumors of a slim, cheaper one coming out.
I'm pretty sure it's out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really up on the Sony news.
Yeah. I saw a picture comparing the two. They're
Oh.
quite a bit.
Okay.
There's a pretty big size difference.
Well, cool. One of us is right. I'm sure. To me, it's like I don't know what I would play on it. So.
Yeah. Well, so for
I'd
me,
play
it was
Spider-Man
going
2
to
and that's
be
about it.
FF7 Remake.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and the
Intergrade.
and the sequels
And the new ones.
But here's the thing: I have a good gaming PC with an RTX 3060.
Yeah.
I could just play
Just get it on
Remake Integrate on PC
Yeah.
for a lot less money than a PS5.
That game is cheaper than a PS5. That's for sure.
Yeah. Because what I wanted to do was like transfer my save data from my PS4. Because Remake is only on PS4. They didn't make a PC version.
Yeah.
So I can't even like buy a
Stupid.
PC version, beat it again, and transfer that save data up.
Yeah.
If I play
Stupid.
Intergrade on PC, I'll be starting a brand new from scratch file.
Yeah. That's fun. And you're not gonna get the full story anyway because you haven't played all the mobile games, the new Final Fantasy mobile games. Nomura's doing really doing a Kingdom Hearts thing with
Yeah.
FF7 now. That's not a joke. That's real.
Yeah, I know.
That's happening. We still don't know who Sephiroth is. He was there that was him on the phone right there.
Here's the thing: I played the original Final Fantasy VII. I've watched Advent Children.
Yeah, you get it.
I know enough of the
Well,
story.
there's new story,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah,
stupid
whatever.
probably, but yeah.
I still haven't played Crisis Core. That would be interesting to play.
There's a remake. There's a new version. It's nice. I definitely want to get that on. It's on Switch. I definitely want to get that. Yeah, that'd be all right. Probably remake's probably going to come out on Switch, the next Switch. They've said they're working on that. So
Yeah.
that'd be cool. I'll definitely get the next Switch. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that would be awesome. Can't wait for that.
Especially, I hope it's fully backwards compatible.
That's what they're saying basically.
Yeah,
that even your purchases will be
because then
on
I
there
would
still.
literally just swap them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because so I've
But they've
been
said they're going to keep the Switch alive also.
Yeah.
Even with newer hardware coming out.
because I've been thinking about like, okay, what consoles do I want to keep? And emulation's been getting a lot better. What do I want to start playing on my PC? And what's important to me to keep on console? And like, it's funny. Some of at least from a hardware standpoint, some of the best consoles ever have been coming out. Like the PS5 has got some genuinely cool hardware stuff. But like, I have a great gaming PC that has that is more powerful than a PS5 in most respects, I believe.
Pretty easy for a PC to be better, yeah.
And also, like, as time goes on, I can continue to upgrade it and make it better and better.
Right. You can
over
always
the
upgrade
years.
it, yeah.
Get newer video cards, get a faster processor, get whatever. So, and I'm going to anyway. Like once my PC is old enough and sluggish enough, I'm going to upgrade it. So, so it's like, I don't know if I'm even gonna keep continuing to purchase consoles. And I can think I might move to treating my PC as a gaming console in some ways. Like, I want to get,
that makes sense.
I might get a wireless adapter for like newer controllers for it. Although I really love the Xbox 360 controller is one of my favorite controllers.
Good controller,
So,
still, yeah. For sure.
Might just go that route.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, most controllers you can hook up to, the PC in some way.
and that one's got USB, so it's just super simple.
And
the
companies
wired
like 8-Bit do really good third-party like Bluetooth controllers and stuff. So, yeah, really nice. Yeah, I don't have much interest in new next gen right now.
Yeah.
Like very few games like really pique my interest. Like really only Nintendo piques my interest right now. So it's kind of easy for me.
And you know,
to just
it's
stick with my
only in the
Switch.
last few years that I've even cared about like game console performance.
Yeah.
That was never a thing I cared about because
Yeah, I don't care at all. So
console optimization of games has historically been good enough that I don't usually notice that much. And I've usually blamed the game rather than the console if I ran into performance issues.
but nowadays games are so advanced that you can tell when they're not performing
and
well.
also because more and more they're coming out for PC and console at the same time, and you can notice a difference
PC runs
between
better,
the
obviously.
performance on PC versus the console. Whereas, like obviously in the N64 era, you didn't see a PC port for most of those games. You didn't see a PC port for any GameCube games, really.
Yeah, well, Nintendo especially.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Nintendo is mainly what I'm thinking of, I guess.
Yeah,
but also, like, a lot of Xbox 360 titles don't have a PC port.
Right. Yeah. It was mind blowing when Halo was on PC. I was like, what? That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, like Fable Lost Chapters being on PC. Like, well, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, that was when PC gaming was new, basically.
I might be expanding
real
my
gaming.
classic console games on PC library in the near future and start moving towards using my PC as my main gaming machine.
I mean, yeah. That makes
But
sense.
like not to play PC games, but to play console games ported to PC.
Yeah.
And emulators.
Either officially or through emulation.
Yeah. And like as emulation gets better and better, then that's just more and more likely for me to do that.
Yeah. Whereas I'm going back in time all the time. Like getting more, like I'm working on expanding my Game Boy Advance game collection, you know?
Yeah.
Like the opposite of what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm buying secondhand old software and
Well, the
stuff.
thing is I have all the old games I want.
Yeah.
I
And
already have
and I
all of
definitely
them,
don't.
so,
Yeah. Because I'm getting old Game Boy Advance games that I always wanted to play but never did. Mm-hmm. But now I'm finally doing it because I have good hardware to play it on.
Yeah.
I have a great SP. I have a great Game Boy Micro. Like, you know, I want to use them. And something's very fun and nostalgic to me of having the original cartridge
Yeah.
of stuff like that. Sometimes the older physical stuff kind of matters, you know? To
Yeah.
me. So,
And like
There's
I've got
there's just fun in
physical copies of plenty of older games.
oh, yeah. And you have
but I
great
just
versions. But
already have all the ones I want.
Yeah.
Like my N64 collection, I'm very
pretty much
happy
complete,
that I
yeah.
have it. But yeah, there aren't any N64 games where I'm like, oh, I wish I had that one. I have all those ones.
Yeah, and for me, I've sold off a few N64 specifically because I can play them on any console ever, basically now. Like, especially the Switch now. It has every N64 game I could want, basically, on it, except for Bomberman Hero. That's about it. Which I have the cartridge, thankfully.
I have ROMs and emulation for every Pokemon game from Red Blue up through Black 2, White 2.
Yeah.
And then I have the rest on console.
Yeah.
So,
And there you go. Yeah. So, like, those are the ones, like, there's a few I'll spend money on. Like, I'm really glad I have a nice, legitimate copy of Platinum. You know, that's pretty cool as, like, a collector's item. But I am not going to spend $200 on an Emerald cartridge with a messed up label for $200. Or 120 on Fire Red or something. I'm going to buy a reproduction cartridge of that because that's stupid. Like I want to play it on the original hardware, so I'm going to get a repro cartridge, which is the same as emulation, basically, just, you know, on the hardware, because that's just stupid. So yeah, I do draw the line eventually when Pokemon games are $200. Yeah. So, but it's all good. So, speaking of the micro, I did a little surgery on it today. So my micro had been, so it was playing fine, but and played for a long time, didn't like die or anything. But when I would go to charge it, it would start charging for a little bit and then just stop. The light would go off.
Okay.
And I'm like, there's no way it's fully charged. I just played this for an hour and it was fully charged in a minute. And then every once in a while I was playing, it would do weird flickering of red lights on like the indicator part. And so I just Googled it. I'm like, is this a thing? And flickering indicator lights is a battery issue.
Yeah.
So that's usually the battery's old or defective in a way where it's giving weird amounts of voltage. It's just like randomly doing less voltage than it needs.
Yeah.
And that's what those pulses are telling you. And it often makes it so it doesn't charge properly. And if you touch the power button, it sometimes the screen flicks off and then flicks back on again.
Interesting. Okay.
Like something that I experienced and people say online too. And I'm like, thank God this is a known thing, you know? But thankfully, they say just replace the battery and you can get them on eBay for $10. It's fine.
Oh, cool. Good.
So yeah, you can get original Nintendo batteries or like other third-party ones that are probably even better because they're newer versions for like $10 or less even.
Yeah.
And so I got it, came in 2 days. I replaced it in 2 minutes and it works great now.
Nice.
Charges fully, zero issues at all, which is awesome. Because
So-
I saw, well, real quick, I saw people on Reddit talking about connecting the battery can be an issue because it's not just a slide it in, slap it in thing. There's little wires coming out.
Yeah.
And a little white connector bit that you need to pull out the old one without damaging anything and then put the new one in without touching a bunch of exposed chips because this is a hot live battery.
Yeah.
And you could just short something if you're not careful. And I've seen people talk about shorting their brand new battery because they did it wrong. So no problems with that, thankfully. It all
Nice.
it charged fully, it turns on, it plays. So no more flickering lights.
That reminds me. So I have a laptop. I bought it used.
Oh no.
I think just the power button is just broken.
Oh yeah.
So touching the power button doesn't do anything. It doesn't turn it on or off.
That's cool. That's a feature.
Yeah. So the
You
original
don't accidentally turn off your
the
computer.
original
It's great.
battery died completely. So I bought a third-party replacement.
Man, what were laptop batteries made out of back in the day, especially?
Right.
Like, just were they just sawdust in there? Like, fake, not real. I swear they weren't even real batteries. I don't know. They died in like a week. I feel like.
So the thing about this battery is if it is charged by a good amount, if I shut down the laptop, it will just turn back on.
Whoa.
Now,
weird.
there's a setting in the BIOS to make that happen, but I have that setting turned off, and it still does it. So
happening.
now, if the power button is broken in such a way that it's just like sort of fully depressed all the time,
It's like going
maybe
all the time.
that's
Yeah,
causing that.
I suppose that makes sense.
It does not run without battery. If I plug it into the wall without the battery plugged in, which is supposed to be a thing that a laptop can do, it does not work.
Just
so that's great.
work through direct power, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is if it's been off for a while, I need to plug it into the wall with the battery inside it and wait. And once it's charged enough, it will just turn on.
Just on its own,
Yep.
and you can't turn it off.
Yeah. So
That's great.
When I want to turn it off, I shut it down, and then as soon as it's finished shutting down, but before it has a chance to turn back on,
Quickly rip
I
out the
pull
battery?
out the battery. Yeah.
Gotta beat it to it. Don't
Yeah.
let it turn back on. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And this is a professional IT person talking.
Oh
here.
yeah. So I am a hardware
Which is
engineer, and so
fantastic.
I work with this kind of stuff a lot, actually. And so like,
And in your professional opinion, the best solution is to rip out the battery as quick as possible.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, absolutely.
That's just great.
Eventually, I might get the power button fixed, or I might just live with it the
Hey,
way it
this
is
works, I guess.
until it totally dies.
That's so funny.
Yeah. It's interesting. So like I'm working with at my job, I'm working with pre-production motherboards a lot. And so sometimes one of the early revisions will come out and they will find a problem, and it's usually something to do with like power delivery, with like the voltage rails are not working right. And so they will recommend removing a resistor or changing the value of a resistor or a capacitor or something on the board, because even though it's a digital circuit, it's still got resistors and capacitors and stuff like regular analog ones. Because it's kind of a mix of those two types of components. And so we actually have someone in the lab who's got like a big old magnifying glass thing and a soldering iron, and they'll
One
actually
of those
like
watchmaker type guy.
yeah, they'll actually remove the resistor or change value or whatever, and give it back to us, and then we'll put it back into testing.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Always these little things. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just glad it was an easy fix, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with older hardware, it's scary sometimes, but thankfully, yeah, there's so many third-party stuff that made it easy.
Yeah, I watch channels like that guy modding his like Switch and stuff like that, and I think it'd be really cool to learn, but I'm just like, I'm cautious about like, because again, I've done a little bit of soldering, but I've
a
never
big,
had to
expensive hobby to
solder
get into.
on like a circuit board or
And
anything.
you can really mess some stuff up.
Yeah.
And it's now
Yeah,
worthless.
you can definitely
This
break
is trash
things.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's messed up. Yeah, I've seen there's a big modding community around Game Boy Advance specifically. There's a lot of like SPs that are also DS emulators, you know?
Yeah.
I've seen like an SP where it looks like an SP, but it's got it's just extra long and has another screen. It's like a double SP, so that's also a DS. Yeah, which looks kind of stupid, but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I loved this video. Someone had a Game Boy Color, and they put like every accessory that you could put onto it.
And made it just like this massive,
big behemoth of a
so stupid. Those are like, I feel like those are like so not useful. Also,
Yeah.
those big accessories and the magnifying glass and
yeah.
yeah. I had the little worm light thing. That's about it.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, which didn't really work that well. So.
Yeah, but it was enough to be able to play in bed at night.
Yeah, for real. Good times. Well, before we close, I can mention this very briefly because you're not interested in it, and so you won't want to talk about it for very long. But I have a Switch Lite, as you know.
Right.
And with every new Switch means that you can have a new island in Animal Crossing New Horizons. So I did that. Started a new island. I'm like a week and a half in and loving every second of it. Yeah. It is good to be back.
Are they not per profile? They're per Switch?
Per Switch.
Interesting.
So I have the same profile as my other Switch. It's the same. It's just on both Switches. And yeah, you can just totally switch it up. Totally brand new island like you've never played it. Because if you do another profile, you're just a new villager. You can just be another person on the same island.
Okay.
Which is actually fun for like a family, especially, or like a couple having an island together or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't have multiple islands on a single Switch. So, but it's been super fun being back in that. It's been long enough that it feels fun and fresh again, kind of. So,
yeah.
And I've got some sweet villagers already. I got so lucky. I'm just saying. Like my second mystery island I went to like look for new villagers to invite to my island. I got Stitches.
Okay.
Second island, Stitches. There are people who go through hundreds of islands looking for Stitches. Okay. He's a lazy villager. He looks like a stuffed animal. He's like a stuffed bear. He's all patched with like different colors, and he's super funny and cool. And he's on my island now. So just saying, good times. That's all. I called it Donut Hill, and I'm going to eventually build up like a mountain in the corner with like all these like moss covered ancient looking ruins and like columns and stuff. And in the very center on like an altar, I'm going to put a plate of donuts. And those are like the holy ancient donuts that started my island. Anyway, that's my plan right now.
Cool.
It's going to be great. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening to the Brothers Game Podcast. I've been Nicolai.
I've been Brian.
And that's been Brian. And even when we leave, we're still going to be us. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Whoa, did that just blow your mind? If you want more mind-blowing facts, go follow us on Twitter at the Brothers G Pod.
Yeah. Also, please download this episode on every platform that you have access to, every device you have access to.
Go nuts. You know, that's all I'm saying. If you're listening on YouTube, by the way, what up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube?
Throw us a comment, give us a like and a subscribe. That means a lot. We love to see you out there. Bada bing, bada boom.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, Merry Christmas and
Merry
Happy Hanukkah.
Christmas.
We're in the middle of Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
That's fun. Anyway, I guess we're going to go to bed now.
Yeah. Good night,
Late.
everybody.
It's late. Okay, goodbye.